WHKY, Hickory, North Carolina.
First Talk with Hal Rowe, WHKY Talk Radio.
Good morning. Welcome back to First Talk with Hal Rowe on WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. It's 6 degrees of something this morning. I don't know exactly, but big reunions going on in here this morning from days gone by. We're going to be talking this morning with members of the cast and the folks who are putting on a Bright Star at the Green Room Community Theater. It opens next Friday night. We're going to be talking with the director, David Townsend. Of course, no stranger to the First Talk studios. Nice to see you. How are you, sir?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are
You're
you?
looking very healthy. Looking very, very nice.
Thank you.
You've been working out? What you been doing?
Stress.
That's
right.
Right. You got to watch it when we get to be our age because I've been ill.
Yes.
I've been ill. Have not been feeling well.
You've lost weight. Are you okay?
Are you okay?
I'm
Are you
fine.
feeling
Thank
all right?
you.
Yeah.
Yep.
It looks good on you.
Thank you.
So nice to see you. Jeff Hartman joins us as well this morning. He is the music director for the show Bright Star. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
And, of course, your lovely wife, Carol Ann Hartman. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you.
And it's kind of a media play reunion on this side because years ago I worked with Jeff. Jeff was my boss at Media Play. And then, of course, I met you because you had worked at Media Play before. I don't think you were working there when I came on, but I got to meet you all at Media Play. And then I'll find out this morning that there's another reunion taking place this morning.
Actually, there's also a Media Play reunion on this side.
Did you work there?
Yes. Jeff was my boss. Thanks. For just a short period of time. Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
So how about that? So we're all formal Media Play folks.
Did I fire you?
No. I quit.
Should have, right?
Yeah, that really shows that he was the. I quit. I can't take this anymore. So pay him back, right? I'm out of here. But of course, you two knew each other
Yes.
from your your sophomore and freshman years
Yes.
at school. And what year did you? What school did you attend, Mr. Townsend?
West Caldwell High School.
West Caldwell High School. Now you were attending West Caldwell already, and then Jeff, you had come over to that school. Now, had you moved into the area or something?
Yeah, my parents moved down here. My dad retired. He was a police officer, and his secretary had retired and moved down here. We just kind of followed them.
Right.
Ended up going to school down here.
All right, and you're from where, sir?
From New Jersey.
I was just going to say I had to
was a
throw that in
Yankee.
because see they were from New Jersey this morning.
Yep.
Dawn and Eddie and everybody. So
Yeah.
we've got many things going.
Well, and Joe and I talk about Jersey all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
And so poor old Carol Ann Hartman. We just got you on the Media Play side.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm the Burke County girl. I'm representing.
You're representing. There you go. Of course, Ms. Hartman is done a great amount of work with music and theater in the area. And, of course, I did want to mention this because I hear so many positive things. You're also working with the early service over at First Presbyterian Church in our area.
It's not early. It's the same time, but yeah, the contemporary service.
Contemporary service.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of those are earlier. I did not
It
know
is,
that.
yeah.
But
We
it's a-
do. We run at the same time. We have 11 o'clock.
Very good, the 11 o'clock service. So if you're looking for a home church or you're looking for a contemporary worship service, Presbyterian Church, stop by and see the fine folks at First Presbyterian.
Yeah, we'd love that.
And just tell them Carol Ann invited you over for Sunday
Yeah.
morning. All right, so there's the reunion part of it. But y'all kind of got an amazing reunion part, a story this morning with
Yes.
Bright Star. The name of the show is Bright Star. It is Steve Martin
Yes.
and Edie Brickell.
Yes,
They
the Steve Martin.
The Steve Martin, right? And they they were at one point seeing each other. Was there a romance or something there? Or?
I think Edie Brickell is married to Paul Simon.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought you now, but okay. We'll leave it at that.
That's how
You hear
rumors
things.
get started.
You hear things. I always like to say I don't know if that's what I heard or what I made up. All of a sudden it's like, did you hear what they said? But tell us a little bit about how you guys met and a little bit about your reunion.
We just went to high school together, and we kept in touch with each other after we both graduated. We did several shows in community theater at Foothills Performing Arts.
Okay.
And I've always, like I said in a Facebook post, I've loved him for like 30 plus years. You know,
Right.
I mean, he's just a great friend, and I've always respected him. And I've always wanted to work with Jeff. I've worked with him on stage, but never in this capacity. And when we got the rights for Bright Star, and I was searching for a music director, you know, something just made me think this is a really great vehicle for Jeff. So I contacted him, and he was available.
Very, very nice.
Yep.
So David Townsend, director, Green Room
Yes.
Community Theater. Jeff Hartman's the music director. Carolyn Hartman, I tell you what, you are in the show. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, you're one of the leads. So tell me, I want to find out about the show. I know nothing about this particular show. I think it takes place in North Carolina. Is that right?
It does take place across North Carolina, from just east of Raleigh to up to Asheville.
Okay, tell us about the show, if you would, please, ma'am.
Sure. The show actually takes place across, it takes place in the 20s and in the 40s.
Okay.
So we kind of do some bouncing back and forth between the two eras. But it's, David had a great description of it when we first started rehearsing, is that we're all getting together to tell a story. And maybe last night was Sarah's story, and maybe tomorrow is Rachel's story, but tonight is Alice's story. And so everyone kind of pulls together to tell this story of a woman who loses her baby. She has her baby taken away from her when she is young, and basically spends the rest of her life looking for him.
Oh, wow.
And so we see her across this 23-year span, trying to come to terms with everything that happened when she was younger. And there's a line in the show that paints it beautifully. It's a tale of pain and redemption.
How about that? So now this is obviously a musical, I'm going to guess.
It is a musical.
Because we've got a music director. I'm thinking
Yeah.
Edie Brickell and Steve Martin. And this did, if I'm not mistaken, you'll have to tell me, but I think it did extremely well on Broadway, did it not? Is that right?
Critically acclaimed.
Right.
Yeah.
But it had a short run.
Okay,
Yeah,
did,
short run,
did
but-
not know that. I thought that, but this is it's certainly one I think that maybe people are familiar with the name, and of course the two powerhouses
Yes.
that kind of
Right.
put that together. Is it a large cast, Mr. Townsend? You working with a lot of folks?
It's a great size cast. I think it's 27.
Oh wow, that's
Yep.
big. Okay,
Well, it's not that big for. We've done casts that are like 45 strong,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
this is a great size cast. We have most of that cast is comprised of ensemble
I
members.
was going to say
telling
ensemble.
the story. Yep.
And of course, I'm going to guess that you have the chorus and you have
Yes.
all that. So tell me a little bit about putting the show together from your end, from the director. I'll tell you what, we got to go to a break, but I want to hear about your part, your vision for the show, as well as Jeff Hartman. Find out a little bit about the music part of the show, and more from Carolyn Hartman. More First Talk right after this. Good morning. Welcome back to First Talk with Hal Rowe on WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. We're talking with members of the Green Room Community Theater's Bright Star this morning. The next production coming up for the Green Room Community Theater. It opens this upcoming Friday, and you can get tickets online, or you can go by the box office. David Townsend is the director.
Yes.
It's going to run Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the first week.
Correct. And the following 2 weekends. It runs 3 weekends.
3 weekends.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 7:30 on Friday and Saturday, and 3 o'clock on Sunday.
Very good. Tickets online at
thegreenroomtheater.org.
thegreenroomtheater.org. Very good. Family friendly, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And mature themes.
Mature thing. Yes.
Okay. Very good. We just came up with that.
God, we are amazing.
You are.
It's just the subject matter is
Right.
heavy.
From what I got from
Yeah.
Carol, from Mrs. Hartman, that's kind of what I
Correct.
got. It was a little bit heavy, but your audiences should feel welcome and have a good time. Tell me about coming at it from a director's point of view, sir.
Well, like I was telling you at the break, when the tour came through Charlotte a couple of years ago, or last year, several friends went to see it, and they reached out to me and said, "You got to see this because it's really your type of show." And when I saw it, I thought they're absolutely correct. It's basically story theater where there's no great scenery design, anything like that. It's just a group of actors coming out telling an amazing story, switching character roles, things like
Okay.
that. We have a core group of principal actors who stay the same, but we have a great group of ensemble members who come in and play all these different characters centered around Alice Alice's character.
Very nice. Jeff Hartman, I kind of known you from some work. You've done a lot of work in theater, but also work with bands in the area. I've never known you, though, to focus primarily on bluegrass. But this is we heard during the break, this is banjo heavy and bluegrass taking place in North Carolina in the 20s and the 40s. Tell me about that part and the way that you kind of approach that aspect.
It's an interesting blend of I'd say country and bluegrass. It's all banjo centered. Steve Martin.
Sure, Steve Martin.
Yeah,
Right.
and Steve actually would send these banjo licks to Edie Brickell. She would send back melody lines to him, and they kind of started this whole collaboration long distance with each other, and then they started getting together and putting it together. But yeah, bluegrass heavy. The band, we've got banjo, guitar, piano, cello, fiddle,
Mandolin. Do we have mandolin?
mandolin, and percussion.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me about your approach to this and the way that because a music director you have notes on the page. We all know that, just like a symphony, or you have that. But tell me about the kind of flavor and what you wanted to bring to it. Because you have actually, your wife is going to be singing in this. So tell me a little bit about bringing maybe that part to it. There was maybe an emotional aspect to it, or maybe you guys worked on it. I don't know, Carol, saying you better answer this one. Carefully.
Well, Carol Ann and I have performed together for years, and we're kind of used to centering the acoustic guitar between everything that we do.
Okay.
So, so that part comes easy. What's been a challenge, and I've told David this 100 times, is that this music is not set up for rehearsals in a typical way. Usually you have all the black and white stuff on the page, but this is very open to interpretation. They give you slash notation with chord patterns, and it's up to you to kind of fill in the gaps.
How fun.
Yeah,
How
I looked
interesting.
at Jeff and said, "What? I need to block something here. What is the music doing?" He said, "Really? Whatever we want to do."
Right.
And I was like, "Oh."
Boom
And
chuck,
do you,
boom chuck.
and do you leave that open for performances night to night? Or are you going to try to get the musicians to say, okay, we're going to do some improvisation here, but tell me how that's going to work, because that sounds fun, challenging but fun.
And that is very unique in a theater sense. Usually everything's kind of locked down to a particular pattern, but there is room for interpretation in this, and because there are solo breaks, and with any solo break patterns, you've got improvisation, and so you're going to get a different flavor each night you come see the show. So that's encouraging people to come see it every single night.
Multiple times. Just like we're talking about multiple times, let's talk next with Caroline Hartman, multiple Rotarian Idol winner, two-time winner. But tell me now, you're a mom. Tell me a little bit about bringing this role to the stage, because it sounds to me like it would be a challenging role as well. Someone their child is taken from them. They spend the next a bigger part of their life. Sounds to me like almost devoted to the pursuit of where is this child and what's going on. Tell me about that part for you.
Yeah, as a mom, when you have babies and you have young children, and even now with older children, there are moments where your mind just wanders and you have a little panic attack of, what if something happens? And thank God nothing has ever happened to my babies, but if, that's kind of where I dig into to find this character is something did happen to hers, and just it's taken from her right out of her arms. And I go back to remembering nursing my babies and just thinking about that calm and that sweetness and it just being ripped away. And it's a challenge to get down there, but it's a good. As a mom, I think I bring a little bit something more to the role than somebody who hasn't had kids.
From the very beginning, I told her, I said, you have to access emotions I will never understand. And I've left it completely up to her for interpretation. And she is an amazing actress, just as amazing as she is a singer. So there's a lot of wonderful freedom for me as a director to just put it in her hands and say, I know you'll do what's right.
Well, that's got to be. This is wonderful because, of course, I've talked about the fact that I've enjoyed your work for a number of years on stage. Really impressed by it. So here you have a director who's giving you the freedom to do what you want and need to do. You've got someone who you've worked with musically that you can kind of plug into and tune into and give you that freedom and the cooperation, the collaboration with the music, because you're not having. It's not like you're walking in and there's somebody there who doesn't know a lot about you and say, okay, Carol, and this is the way that I want this, and you kind of like, okay, and maybe not have a lot of room to move. So this should be a really nice piece for you. This should be a really, I don't want to say fun, but a real opportunity for you as far as the show goes.
Yeah, it's great. It's great working with both of them because David will let me have the freedom, but if I'm not doing what he wants, he'll tell me, and that's okay with me. I'm like, yes, please, just tell me how you want it if I'm not doing it. And the same with Jeff. I mean, we have a whole orchestra that's coming in, but he knows me, he knows my voice, he knows what I'm capable of, and so it's nice to not have to explain and go through all that.
Right, exactly. So that's wonderful. That's good news. It should be a great show.
Go ahead.
Go, please.
No, one thing I want to point out for our green room audiences who saw Mary Poppins, Carol Ann starred as Mary Poppins a few years ago, and one of the cast members was in Mary Poppins with her, and she came to me early on in rehearsal and said, I cannot believe that is her voice. I said, well, she used a completely different register for this British high soprano voice, but now she is singing. She's way down in her Kushka's down in here trying to sing all this bluegrass, and it is an absolutely empowering voice that she has. It is beautiful.
The name of the show is Bright Star. Yes. Of course, if you are a fan of Edie Brickell or Steve Martin, co-written by them, kind of came from a concept album. Did well on Broadway, even though a short run. You'll get a chance to see it right here at the Green Room Community Theater. It starts this upcoming, a week from tonight.
Yes, September 6th.
And then, of course, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 7:30 on Friday and Saturdays. Of course, you got the 3 o'clock matinee on Sundays. Runs for 3 weekends. So give yourself a treat and go see Bright Star. You'll see some wonderful, and we have like 1 minute left, so I know we're not going to be able to mention anybody specifically, or maybe just one or two. Is there a male lead, or are there some other folks who are principals in the show that you wanted to mention?
Yeah, we have Joey. I don't know Joey's name. Joey Moray. He's the male lead. He's Alice's counterpart, and him and his girlfriend are both in the show, and they just moved down here from
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so they're newish to the area, and so we're happy to have them. I just want to shout out to the ensemble because they amazing. Are the powerhouses of this show. They are on stage constantly. They are changing from 20s to 40s. They are handling props and set pieces and
dealing with the director who changes things constantly.
And yes, there's that too. So I mean, they're the star of this show. It's phenomenal. You come and I think if your jaw will hit the floor to see what they are capable of in this show.
Yes.
This sounds like it's going to be a wonderful show. I'm glad that y'all came in because I did not know a lot about this before y'all were here. But it's nice to know that you two are working together on the show. And, of course, you all had the reunion from school. It should be a wonderful show. We hope that you'll enjoy Bright Star at the Green Room Community Theater coming up a week. Opens a week from tonight. More First Talk right after this.